get you. Oh, you're gonna stay there for me? Haha, got you mother. I got him. These nuts. Got him. Okay, here we go. Ready? Okay. Freaking flies. There was like 0 flies in here all day, except for sand flies that just showed up out of nowhere. And then it got freaking got him, but I don't know where he went. He's probably gonna live again. He's gonna live to fly another day. There was like no fly, there were sand flies once it warmed up enough. Oh, I like bonked my head and it actually broke, like made blood. That was yesterday too, but I feel it today because it's like all kind of swollen, you know, got like a knot, and then I can feel like a little scab right there. Where's my keys? Oh, they're in the van. Told Mari we were gonna go to just climb to the top of the mountain and come back down. She's already left. She's already up there. Oh, she's coming back now. She's like, you said we were going up. I went up. What the heck? Oh, I put this on backwards. No wonder. Like, what the heck is going on here? Are you okay? What the heck, dog? You haven't had a freaking coughing fit all day. Now all of a sudden, oh gosh dang, now the sandflies are back. Never did finish my story. There was like not much for sandflies, and then, are you good? Like, that's what you get for full sending it down the mountain, I guess. Yeah. Anyways, I'll be right back. I gotta put my windows up. And as you may have noticed, we're still in the same spot, and there's a reason for that, because the weather is changing, and I do not want to be up by Flagstaff for this weekend, because it is going to be really bad. Like, they're talking 12 inches of snow at the ski hill. I don't know what that means for like Flagstaff itself, but I would be about halfway up from where we normally camp at. So we decided to stay down here, and it was supposed to be a lot cooler today, and it was, but it sure had moments where it felt freaking hot. Tell you what, like even my van, like I looked at the freaking temperature. So Cordes Lakes is the nearest weather station from here, And it is about maybe 10 miles that way. Temperature wise, it should be actually hotter there than here because we're higher up. And its high was supposed to be 74. Again, my thermometer's busted, so I have no idea what it actually was outside. But the inside of my van, which felt cooler than outside, inside of my van, I was getting temperature alerts for her. It got up to like 85 degrees at one point. So I don't know what was going on. But for the most part, it was actually fairly chilly. Or fairly cool, I mean, pleasant. These freaking sand flies came out at about, I don't know, because there was actually a little bit of a breeze and it was nice and cool. And they came out about probably 10-ish, I would say. No, Nari, we're gonna go up. I told you, we're going up the mountain. Up the mountain. Yeah. She hurt her foot yesterday somehow. I checked it for cuts. I checked it for like cactus needles and thorns and all that kind of stuff. And I'm guessing what she probably did is she stepped on a cactus needle and then it didn't stick in her paw. It like came back out. But so yeah, we'll see. We'll see how she does. But she's going crazy right now, which is why we're doing this. Anyways, the sandflies like came out about 10:30 or so because the breeze died down, and then it got freaking, like I said, it got really hot. And then I don't know, maybe 2 hours ago, it started to get really breezy here, and now there's like no wind. So now the sandflies are back. And when it got really breezy, I had like zero, like, you know, black flies in the van. And then when it got breezy, they were all like in the van trying to escape the wind, I think. Even though it was like a wind tunnel in there, so I don't get it. But and this road, I don't know what the hell is up with today. There has been so many people driving up and down this road. Makes no sense to me. No sense. I'll go have a safe hike and hopefully she's healing well. Yeah, I think she's fine. Yeah, thank you for the biddies. That's awesome, thank you so much. I don't know where she's at now. She's down in the ravine here somewhere. Where is she at? She is definitely down in the ravine. I have no idea where she's at. I don't even hear her. Did she somehow like come back out and she's halfway up the mountain already? Because that would make sense. But yeah, so many people driving down this road. And then there's the last guy that came down here. He went driving by and I'm looking at his vehicle and this is like a stock, like I would say probably like a mid-90s. Oh, she is all the way up there. Holy cow. Well, I guess we can turn around. She already went to the top. We can turn around and go back now. And yeah, look at that. Okay, now I see what this guy's issue was. So he's in this stock like freaking F-150, like mid-90s F-150. So not a four-wheel drive, like high clearance vehicle. And he started driving up here and I'm like, where's this guy going? Like, and he had Arizona plates on, so you'd think he would know this road. And he just kept driving by. And then he got to here. And I was like, he must not have wanted to go any further. And I saw him trying to turn around here, and he had to do like a 5-point steer. And then at some point I was like, did that guy like actually, I don't know, that's kind of weird now that I see how he turned around, why he chose this to go over this rocks and everything, and he drove over that cactus. Why would you not choose this more wide open area, for one? And then two, now I know why he almost got stuck. Like he actually, I think he did get stuck, being honest. Just moved there or something, maybe. I mean, he could have just been out exploring, but he's definitely not somebody that does that a lot, because if I needed to turn around, and granted, I've been doing this a long time. I've been doing a lot of, like, you know, exploring on roads like this. But even if in a vehicle that isn't as capable as my van, if I needed to turn around, I would go, hello Spice Girl, I would have put my nose up here and then backed in to here and then pulled out that way. Yet this guy was trying to do the opposite of that. But, you know, whatever. To each his own, I guess. He was able to eventually get out of here. I thought for sure he was going to wander down to where I was at and be like, oh, can you help me? Because I could tell he was having issues. Little freaking pack-a-day cigarette person over here. I don't know what's this guy going on. She hasn't had any of your coughing issues all day. And of course she's been pretty lazy all day too, so now she's like beast moded everywhere. So you okay? Yeah? Okay. Oh, thank you for that. Yeah. I smacked her ass. She's like, give me that hand. Yeah. See, there was no way that guy would have got through this section right here. There's no way. You guys can't even really see it too good. There is no way he would have got through here. Like, I could get through it in my van, but it wouldn't be fun. I'd have to worry about everything getting tossed to and fro in the back of my van. Same thing with this section. I could get through here. He definitely would not have gotten through here. I was like, what the heck is this guy doing? But then even like, and he was the fifth guy that came through here. The vehicles ahead of him, like in actual trucks. I'm not talking like side-by-sides, four-wheelers, that kind of stuff. Because you get those people that come through here. Probably not a purchase vehicle for the terrain. Obviously not. But to get an actual vehicle to drive to the top, like I said, I've been coming here for 4 years, and I spend, you know, I actually follow the rules. So I spend my 2 weeks and then move on to a different place, like you're supposed to do. A lot of people don't out here. There's a lot of snowbirds that, like last winter, I stopped here at, what was that, the end of December, and there was a guy parked up on the top up there over on the other side that didn't finally move on until the end of February. So he was there for like over 2 months, almost 3 months, I think. And it's not like he moved and then came back, you know, after the time, which you're supposed to have 60 days before you come back. So essentially you have to move 3 times. And you're supposed to move at least, I don't remember what it is. It's like 45 miles or 60 miles or something. You're supposed to move. Like it's in the actual thing about dispersed camping on public land. Like the federal law or whatever. But anyways, I've been coming here for 4 years. Like I said, I've spent maybe 3.5 months or so, three to 4 months on this spot. Like, because I always move and then nobody comes up this high, so I always get, that's the one spot I can pretty much guarantee I get. And in that time frame, I can count on one hand how many vehicles, actual vehicles, like trucks, I've seen drive up this road. And in the last week that I've been here, I've seen twice that. There were 5 today. Yeah, there's more today than in the last 4 years. And like I said, I get OHVs and stuff. They come up here all the time, and that's not a big deal. It's just and it's not a big deal when cars come up here, or trucks, vehicles come up here. It just surprises me. And then I saw a guy, and it's all white trucks. I don't get it. They're not the same white truck. They're all different white trucks. Like I've seen white Toyota Tundra, white Chevy, white GMC, white Dodge, like all these different trucks. And then today I was even, I guess it's not regular patrol, it's not. And with the current state of everybody getting fired, there's not enough people to do anything out here as far as the BLM is concerned. I see like one Fish, Wildlife and Park, or not Fish, Wildlife Park, Fish and Game person out here because there's people hunting right now, but that's about it. There's that road that goes up here, that goes up to that mine, and it dead ends right there. And I saw some guy drive up and down that today too. Like, and that road is worse than this. And the only people I've seen drive up that road are the people that have the mining claim at the top of it. Will you stop eating whatever you're eating? Gosh dang you. She ate something yesterday, and I don't know what it was. And about, I don't know, probably an hour after our run, after we got done with our run, she puked like 6 or 7 times. I was like worried. I was like, am I gonna take you in somewhere? So I kept an eye on her, and she never did puke again after that. But whatever she ate, did not agree with her. Oh man, this is I say it every time. This is steep. There's a white truck again. Completely different white, random truck. Down at the bottom there. On the main road. Yeah, that is a completely different truck because it has a topper on it. It's always white. Heck. Yeah, there's a guy, well, there's a guy, I'm guessing they were just a couple old timers just out driving around, having fun. They went by in a pretty built, like a full-size Dodge earlier. They were the first people to go by this morning. And I was the whole time thinking, like, where are they gonna go? Because as big as they are, like, they can get up this pretty easy, but they definitely are not going down some of them other roads. Unless you're like a wheelbase of like a Jeep or something. I don't think you'd be able to go down the other end. But, I think what we're gonna do, because what is today, Wednesday or Tuesday? Today's Wednesday. Yeah, I'm okay with that. You do you. I'm completely okay with that, actually, because then I can renovate and probably sell it. So I hope you get it. Oh. You're so stressed? Well, welcome to home ownership. That's all it is stress. I was actually looking at properties today, and there's a piece of land I'm actually looking at kind of down by Bozeman. But you have to go into it from like Clarkston, which is not the friendliest place in the world, but I don't know as if I can pass up a deal like that. And if I don't get that place, there's a couple other places that are, there's a house, it'd be a fixer-upper down in Lima that I was looking at, that it's only like, it's a small yard, but it'd be a cool little place. Lima is one of those towns where I would love to live in. It's so small, but the community itself is awesome. Whew. Right across the street, so you want them add? No, that'd be cool. They need to be able to see your nieces. You're bound to see more and more, no matter what the state. Yeah, and I understand that. Like, it has gotten, just in the last 4 years here, like, I was actually surprised when we came in here this last week and there's not that many people, because all the snowbirds are definitely coming down this way. But the fact that out here it's not really that busy yet is quite unusual. But then you go places like in Colorado, when I go there in July to work, it is so tough. And it's mostly people like me. It's not even like the snowbirds, you know, with the RVs and camper trailers and stuff. It is, oh look, it's a van like mine. Driving down the road, the main road. But it's like van lifers, like trying to find a freaking camp spot in Colorado now when I go there is so tough. And it just, like, from when I got mine, like when I got mine, I was even late to the party as far as like the whole romanticized van life type of stuff. I was like, it was a 2-year project for me, and like I said, I've only been doing it for 4 years now. But so I started working towards it like 6 years ago, and now it's so freaking romanticized and popularized that everybody's doing it, and then they end up doing it for like, you know, half a year or something, and then they're like, nope, not for me. And it's like, yeah, it's because all these people on Instagram make it look so fun, and they don't show the stuff that's not fun. You know, it's like, there's a girl I watch on TikTok that I've been following her because she built out her first van right when I was building mine out. And it was like she's from Canada, and what she could afford was only like a used, like Chevy, like a full-size Chevy van. So not even like the nice, you know, big vans like the Transits or you know, Sprinter vans. And then, of course, Canada has weird rules. I don't even understand why, but her transmission went out on that, And because it was registered in a different province than where she was at working, for some reason she couldn't fix it. And then she got herself a Ford Transit like me, and she's been spending the last like easily year building that thing out. Like she did most of it last winter, because she does, oh, there's a helicopter. She does tree planting in the summertime to make enough money to live off of the rest of the year. And it's hard work. I would not want to do it. But she makes good money because it's like, it's pretty much when you do that up in Canada, it's you control how much money you're gonna make. You plant more trees, you get more money. And she works her ass off. But anyway, she posted some the other day, and like she got a used one. I don't know how many miles it has on it, but her transmission, she started having transmission problems, and it's like, oh, those sound familiar. I've been fighting those problems for a long time. And then so she took it into the dealership, and the dealership tried to just do a transmission service on it, and she paid like $1,300 for them to do that, and that worked great for about a week. And then she started having even worse problems with her transmission, and now she needs a new transmission. And I'm so confused because she doesn't have the money for that. But up there in Canada, she said it was a new transmission was going to be 13 grand. Now, maybe it's just because I can do the work myself, but I looked at freaking the transmission, a new transmission for my van this last summer when mine was giving me a lot of fits. And I was like, well, I'll just swap out my transmission. And a brand new transmission was only like $1,900, or a reman anyways, rebuilt transmission. And I'm like, well, I can just swap it out myself, so it won't have any labor costs involved as far as paying somebody else to do it. But so that's a big difference though. And maybe it's just because they're in Canada, but $1,800 versus 13 grand. Like, there's no way there's that much labor involved. And granted, yeah, they're gonna mark up $1,800. You know, they'll mark it up probably. I mean, if they're a decent maintenance shop, they'll probably mark it up $800. So you're talking like $700 just for parts, or for the transmission. But I can't see 11 grand in what do you call it, labor. So I don't know what she's gonna do. I haven't seen an update from her. But she used to come down to the US in the wintertime, kind of like I was just talking about with snowbirds. Because half of these, if you look around here when it gets busy, half of them, at least half of the people that are here in this area are Canadian. There are not a whole lot of Montanans. A lot of people from Washington and Idaho, Utah even, oddly enough. Utah it's pretty mild winters really. But most of them are like Alberta, British Columbia, Saskatchewan, I mean, I kind of get the Montana thing because everything's so expensive in Montana. Nobody can afford to have like own a home up there and then have like an RV or something to come down here in the wintertime. Or they have so much money that they just own a second home down here and they fly down here. There's no in between. I mean, there's two people that live in my building, a couple owners, that's what they do. There's no way no one's paying for that. Exactly. I'm like, there ain't no freaking way. Like, I guarantee, as a used van, and like I said, I don't know how many miles it had on it, but I can't believe she paid more than probably 30 for that. Because I don't think hers is even all-wheel drive. I think it's just two-wheel drive. Maybe we'll do the loop. Should we do the small loop maybe? Because it's still light enough. I don't have my... I do not have my headlamp. And we'd have to go through coyote territory. Yesterday, I didn't even notice. You would have noticed my stream abruptly ended, except for YouTube. For whatever reason, I look at YouTube. It kept going. All of a sudden, it was like, said my stream was going for like 9 hours before it finally ended. I'm like, what? But I just talk it all, the whole thing, and then finally I look at my phone, and it was like, it was black. And I was like, what the heck? And then I tried to turn it back on. Well, what happened was it was so hot yesterday. If you remember, he talking about how freaking hot it was, that it wouldn't charge. So my phone died because it was too hot to charge. Whew. 9-hour run, yeah, decent, man. Well, I mean, it depends. I mean, they've come down a lot recently, but a lot of vans, like especially the Transits and the Sprinter vans, have been really expensive, like the used ones, just because there's such a want for them. Little supply, huge demand, little supply. Like, I had the dealership offer 2 years ago. They offered for me to trade in my van, and because they wanted a used van, and they were trying to offer me almost as much as what I paid it for. I'm like, there ain't no way. And then I looked at the price of the new ones, and it would have only been like, I could have got a new van for like a $5,000 difference is all. I almost did it because I'd rather have the EcoBoost motor, because it has it's the same motor just with a turbo on it. It has an extra almost 70 horsepower than what I have now. Whew. I don't know. Should we do the loop or not? Because I don't think it'll be too dark. Do I have it in me? That's the problem. Yeah, there is nobody frickin' camped out there. Like along the road down there is probably, let's see, there'd be at least 1, 2, 3, 4. No, not 4, 3. Or if you follow the rules, there'd be 3 other campsites down there. Like really nice camp spots. One of them is set up perfect if you have like a group of people that you're traveling together with like 3 or 4 big ass freaking RV trailers. I think we'll try the loop. The only problem is I'm gonna lose signal here or there. But my legs are feeling good, so we're gonna try and go pretty fast through it. I mean, this downhill I will not be able to because it is super steep and rocky, like loose, what we call baby head size rocks. Combination between baby heads and what we call death cookies. Right side though. I don't think that's an actual vehicle. Like a full-size vehicle. Even though a lot of the side-by-sides are just as big as a full-size vehicle anymore, or bigger. Like I went by one the other day. It was bigger than a freaking Jeep. Like what's the pickup looking Jeeps with the four doors and then the little pickup thing on them. It was bigger than that. Those things are huge. See this part, I can see somebody driving down. They're careful. Then it gets really gnarly right here. And even worse once you get around the corner here, because it gets even steeper. So I don't see how anybody drove down this. And it's pretty soft and loose. So, like right here, somebody did actually drive down this because there's rocks kicked up everywhere. But was it an actual vehicle? This is steppy even. Like, so was it a vehicle or an OHV? My guess is probably an OHV because this is so steep. And just rocky and loose rock and all that. Like that's why I have to go so slow, because if I go any faster, I'm going down on my ass, and I don't want to break a tailbone. Oh, jeez. Yeah, some of these are like just freaking drops offs too. Let's see how anybody went down this. Actually, it might have been that. Oh no, because I saw the Toyota come back. I think maybe that Toyota, because it was definitely the most built of all the vehicles. But I did eventually see him come back. Like this is steep. I don't know if you guys can actually tell how steep this is, and it is not solid rock by any means. And then you have this huge erosion cut. Whoever did come down this stayed on the right hand side of that erosion cut. Oh jeez. Oh, I almost went down. The tire's actually gonna hold. And then right here, you have to go down some steps. There's no way around it. Like that might be fun if you're in a Jeep. Like a tricked out Jeep to go down, complete with a roll cage. A vehicle without a roll cage? Oh hell no. Because all it takes is tires to slip a little bit, turn sideways. Got a lot of traffic down in this section too. On this road, which makes sense. Like I can see a lot of traffic back here. And that's why I'm confused why, like if people are hunting, any of the deer are gonna be down here. Why wouldn't you drive in on this road? There's like only one section up here that I don't know as if I could make it in my van. But all these people that are climbing that other road or driving down that, if you can make it up and down that, you can make it on this road easy. Like, I wish I could get back in here with the van, because there are some nice camp spots down in here. And again, I probably could. I just remember there's a freaking roading and caving in right there. I don't want to go past that. I know that I can think of off the top of my head of nice little dispersed camping areas. So I don't think I could get past that because my van's too wide. But even up here, there's a nice spot right here. Now, I actually probably could get back in here because there's another road that comes in that I've never been down. And I bet you, from looking at it from way up here, it doesn't look like it's that bad. So it's probably better than this other road. But even on the entrance of this road, like, there's some really nice spots, like towards the entrance, like within at least a mile of the entrance. But that's probably not even that far. Really good camping spot. Up here, oddly enough, up at the top of the hill is a really nice flat spot. Now, it sits right on top of like an old mine, so you know, you might have to be worried about cave-ins or something. I don't know. But I've been a little ways down this road, and like I said, it doesn't look that bad. But I can't see what it looks like right past here right now, because I do know you have a heck of a drop-off to get down to the road as well. Oh, there she is. Like, here's my doggo. I didn't hear her. Oh. I'm gonna have for din-dins tonight. I don't know. I mean, I kind of know what I'm gonna have, because I have some ground like Italian sausage. I'm gonna cook that in something, but I don't know what. Ooh, this would be pretty rough to go through in my van. I could make it, but I would have things bouncing around everywhere, because this is super rocky. But it's not that steep, but it is super rocky. So I'm gonna have to air down my tires and then just take a slow crawl. But this is that section coming up here that is the worst on this whole road, because we're almost to the little wash area as well. Actually, this is better than it has been. I think there's been enough people driving on here that they've broken up what used to be a lot of steps you had to go up. I'm thinking what we might do tomorrow. It's supposed to rain Friday, Saturday, Sunday here. So I'm thinking we might head south tomorrow and see if we can find, I'm guessing there's probably like a Napa or a O'Reilly's or something, AutoZone in Anthem, which is not too far away from here, where I might be able to get a caliper compression tool. I'll call ahead before I drive all the way there, just to make sure. But, and then pick up one of those and then come back. And since it's supposed to rain here, that would be why I'm not going up around Flagstaff, because it's sitting, what, 4,000 feet higher than here? It tells you it's gonna snow. Like I said, the last forecast I saw has it up to about 12 inches of snow. So we'll see. That's why I didn't move here 2 days ago, because I was watching the forecast and it wasn't looking good. And now it for sure doesn't look good. So, and then we'll see. Like, I'm still planning on leaving on Sunday to head back east. Been doing a lot of research. There's one spot that is a national forest. Well, I mean, I knew about it. National forest. You can camp there. There's some trails you can run in Arkansas that I wanted to stop at. And then, oddly enough, I found one in like a national forest. I mean, they're small in both Mississippi and in Alabama and Louisiana even, which will be probably coming back that we're gonna hit at. And then, so I still gotta figure out going over, but we might. The other day, it was colder in Tampa. Essentially smoothed it out compared to how they used to be. Looks like people have roughed it out a bit, like smoothed it out, I guess. Like rough. When I said rough, I meant like, you know, roughen the high spots to make it a little bit smoother, I guess. Kind of like you would do with sandpaper on something. Oh, okay, we made it through the bad part, and we made it through what should have been all of the dead zones for cell service. I guess I'll find out. And I just realized I did not bring any water with us because I was not expecting us to do this. We were gonna go to the top and back. So hopefully she's fine. I'll be fine. I can make it. I've been hydrating all day. But one part about being out here in the desert is I go through water twice as fast between me and her. Usually like 5 gallons. Well, essentially we'd go through like a gallon a day, but if it's like decent conditions, but even that is probably less than a gallon a day between the two of us. But yeah, when it's hot, we go through probably at least 2 gallons a day, if not more. So I can usually go about easily 2 weeks, sometimes more than that. But when it's like this, it's like 7 days, and I carry 25 gallons of water. Oh, so we went through one of the, I didn't even point out to you guys, one of the dispersed camping areas or spots out here. It's pretty nice. But the nicest one is right up here, but it sits right across from where people shoot. So you get people that come up and, like, if you were to camp out over here, which I mean, they'd still be able to park a little ways away from you, but still, you'd be like camped here, and then you'll have people that drive up and be shooting targets right next to you, which is fine. I might join in with them, but when you have a doggo who's super friendly and everything, it's not fun. Oh, I gotta leave it. I need to poop. Yeah, so here's a nice flat. Oh, it's an airplane. Nice flat campsite right here, and it's pretty big and wide open. But then this is right here is where people shoot targets. They set targets up right there because that road doesn't go anywhere. Like, I'm surprised that road is as prominent looking as it is, because it literally goes like another 15 yards past that and there's nothing there. There's not even like a campsite or anything. And then you could camp up here on this little knob right here too. And then there's one a little bit further down too. But then it's about as far down. Like, you could camp further closer to the road if you wanted to, but then you have to worry about, because there's this huge ass water tank. So it's a water source, and the pond is right up here. And so you have to be a quarter mile from any water source, man-made or natural, in this area. And it's like that in much of Arizona. And it's like that even in some other states as well. Oh, getting little pockets of nice cool air that feel really nice. Oh. Here's the other spot I was talking about right here. And I don't think there's any others further down. This is a really nice spot right here too. Oh, is there one more? There might be one more up here actually. Yeah, there is. There might be two more. No, I think it's just this one, because this is where the road splits. And by splits, it comes right back together again. But I mean, it's like splits over to the right, which is where you would want to camp. But because this road is so benign, at least up until where people shoot at, that's why people shoot out here, because the road is fairly benign. But this is pretty eroded, so that's why people started going this way. And then that way over there is the campsite. But it's a nice campsite. I've used it before when all these other places are pretty busy. There goes my dog. I mean, technically she just went right over the edge there. She's gonna be on the trail. There's a part of me that just kind of wanted to cut across that myself. The only issue is we still got like almost 2 miles, and she's gonna be thirsty, and I have 0 water. I might be able to squeeze some out of my water bottles. It's not gonna be a lot. I'm gonna get up here though, and I'm just gonna cut across. So I'm not gonna go all the way down when the trail is literally like 20 feet to the side of me. I'm gonna go an extra 200 yards. Somebody's coming down the road, or they're going down the road. I think they're coming. Yeah, they're coming. They're coming, not going. The main road, I mean, not this road. There they go. I think it's a Jeep. Hopefully my dog's not down there. Trail's right there. No, she's on the trail. Good. Okay, we're just gonna cut across. All right, we're going this way. There you go, good girl. Like I said, she was literally on the trail right here. I wanted to cut back further up. So I was like, she's going right over the hill. She'll be on the trail. It's like I kind of want to do it myself. Like I never really noticed how close this gets to the road until yesterday. Again, white vehicles, white truck. So we rolled in. This is after my phone died on me, and because the pond is like right here by those big trees right there. He was parked just right there. We come rolling in, and then it was kind of sus. Like he was just sitting there, and then she goes to get a drink, and the guy starts his vehicle up and starts to take off. Well, then we're taking off. And so before he got out of there, we were crossing the road and then headed this direction and hopped on the trail. And then he crossed the road, and then he was driving up the road that we were just on. And he was literally like right next to us as we're, going down the trail. That's why I was like, didn't really realize how close the trail was to the road, because he was right next to us just driving. It looked so slow, and I'm like, this guy's being sus. Like literally the other campsite I was talking about, or the last one, is right there. Or maybe it was right here. No, it's like right over here. I don't even think it's that far over. So, nice camp spot, because you can just walk right down to the trail. It's like 30 yards away. Ooh, something smells good. The flowers and such. Okay. Well, this is, it'll take me a while because it's uphill. It was just a 3% grind, a little more here or there, but not a whole lot more than 3% grind all the way back now until we get to the road we're on, and then it's like a 20%. It's only 20% for a couple hundred yards or so. I keep going through pockets of cool air, pockets of warm air. And you can see, looking at the sky, that there's definitely some weather moving in. But it's not gonna hit here for another 2 days. It's just the precursors. And that's for down here. I think it's supposed to hit, if I remember right, it was supposed to hit Flagstaff earlier, like maybe even tomorrow. Sunset's kind of cool though. It always made me laugh, like out here on the flat over here, there's like no sparrows at all. And then you got this big guy right there, just all out by himself. And then you get like just a mile that direction, like where those big hills are, just on the other side of that hill. And then it is just tons of swallows out there. And the closer you get to Black Canyon City, the more abundant that they are. And it's kind of funny because they're so protected that, or where it's at on this trail, I think it's on this side of Bumblebee, or maybe it's on the other side, but one of them started growing into the trail. And you can't do anything about it. So it's like you just see where people have been, and it's not like, it's pretty steep right where that is, so it's not like you can just step to the side, but you can see people have been trying. You know, like any of these other cactuses, they can just lob off whatever's into the trail, you know, mesquite trees or the prickly pears, whatever, it don't matter. But the swirls are so protected. Hit these little ditches or washes, whatever you want to call it. So you have to go through, and it kind of feels like you're going downhill, but I don't think you are. Well, this one's downhill. I think most of them, you just go from uphill to flat. Actually, I don't think that one was downhill either. That's just flat. That's because you're climbing the flat. Makes it feel like it's downhill. That's what I always warn people. Give them advice when they come out here to run Black Canyon. Because everybody always talks about, oh, it's a downhill course. Yes and no. Like, first off, the first like 5 miles, or maybe not first 5 miles, but much of the first 5 miles, you're going uphill till you get to the top of the bench right there, little plateau. And then once you get across that, there's like, it's kind of rolly on the top of it, where you're going uphill, downhill, uphill, downhill for about a mile. Maybe a little more than that. And then it's downhill for about 5 miles or so, maybe a little more than that. I guess it'd be closer to, I think it's about 5. And then once you hit down here at the road, I mean, you can see that is below us right now. Once you get down here to the road, it's a climb for 2.5 miles this direction until you get almost right where that light is up there, which would be at the rest area, but it'd be on the ridge, not at the rest area, but where that light is sitting right above the ridge. That's probably about right where your high point is. And then it's downhill to Bumblebee, which would be about, what, 3.5 miles, maybe 4 miles. But this part right here is deceptive because it just grinds on you. So if you go out too fast and then you go too fast on this even, well, guess what? You leave Bumblebee, you're climbing again for at least probably 3 or 4 miles, and then you have just a little bit of a downhill, and then you climb again, and then you drop. Like you drop fast down to the river, which may or may not have water flowing in it when you go to cross. And then you have to climb back up again. And that climb is steep coming out of that. And then you drop down into the aid station at the ranch there in Black Canyon City. And then you leave there and you climb back up again. And then you drop back down just a little bit to the next aid station. And then you climb back up out of that. And then you drop down to the river. And then you have one of the toughest climbs. It's like from the river up and over. And I say toughest because it's long and fairly steep. Now you can run it if you're elite. You definitely run it. I was running it, keeping up with the elites last, 2 years ago, up the hill with the camera for the broadcast. And I was able to do it, but I was, good evening, you think? Ninja, you know it's a good evening. Hey, look at it, it's nice out here. Yeah, I do have to preface that what you guys see on the screen is way lighter out than what it truly is. It's starting to get dark out here. But yeah, that climb coming out of from the river there is pretty brutal. And then you're going downhill again for quite a ways until you climb up into Table Mesa, and then you have to climb up, and that arguably could be the toughest climb as well because it's steep. And then once you get on top of that, it's just downhill all the way to the finish line. So yeah, it's a downhill course, but there's a lot of climbing. Kind of like years ago. Where's the pup? Right there. She was off stabbing herself in the feet with cactus needles, I guess, since she just stopped right there and was like, damn foot. But it's like years ago, Runner's World, and I think they pretty much had to kind of retract it, but they come out with their top 10 marathons to chase a BQ, and they had the Governor's Cup in Montana listed on there. And it's like, again, it's because they had it listed a downhill course. You're gonna, you drop like, I don't know, 1,300 feet or so over the whole course. But they didn't tell people is, one, it starts at like 5,000 feet, high elevation for a lot of people. And two, there's like 4,000 feet of climbing in the middle because it's not just downhill. Like your net downhill is 1,300. But you're talking like, like I said, like 3,000 feet of vert or more. It's probably more than that. So really your downhill is, 4,500 feet or whatever in order to get in that downhill. It's tough because now not only are you freaking having to run uphill, but you're also, blasting your quads running downhill more than you would think. Downhill marathon courses are not all they're cracked up to be. I think we're Almost there. Is that my hill straight in front of us? Can't tell. Yeah, I think it is. It's too dark, so I can't see. Let me see if I can show you how dark it actually is. That's how dark it actually is. Whew. Yeah, I think that's my hill. I guess if there's a road right up here, then I'll know. Because there's a road on this side of the hill, which, like, I always see a guy parked there up at the end of this road that, you know, that just camps out up there for a couple weeks. And it's weird because the guy I see is like, I'm pretty sure it's the same guy I've seen every year in this little freaking janky ass SUV that you wouldn't think would be able to get up this road, but somehow he does. And then it's like, I would be bored out of my mind if I was like living, you know, snowbirding out of a vehicle like that. And this is coming from a guy that lived out of his truck for a year. Oh yeah, here's the road. So that's our hill. So we're almost there. Just let my dog go run around, have fun. Don't see anyone else around now? No, surprisingly, there ain't nobody around here. It's like crazy. Like even over the weekend, I thought for sure, because I worked on Sunday, but there was like nobody out here even camping on Saturday night. Of course, we were down at the lower one. We just stayed for a night down at the lower one because we spent pretty much the whole week before up by the Grand Canyon. I had to work on Sunday, so we stopped down here, and this spot down here at the bottom of the road I'm on is usually always taken. Like, it's a prime spot. But I didn't like it because people will frickin' blast. They go by here. They're coming back from Crown King up on the top of the mountains, and they drive all the way back down to either Bumblebee, where they park with their trailer, but they drive in OHVs, and they always have their frickin' music just blasting at frickin' midnight as they're driving around all drunk or whatever. And then surprisingly, somebody did camp across the main road at the entrance of where my road goes. They did camp there, but they only were there for one night. That was the only people I saw camped out this whole weekend. I thought for sure when we came back here after I got done working, when we came out here on Sunday, I wasn't gonna be able to find a spot, but nope. Even like yesterday when we ran up on top of the plateau, like there's lots of spots up there that are usually packed, because those are the first spots coming in off the freeway, so they fill up the first, and even those were only like a third full. It's like, where the heck are all the snowbirds this time of year? I know they were driving down here because I was passing them on the freeway and the highway as I was coming down, but oh, she's found another rabbit. Be very, very quiet. Nari's hunting wabbit. Here she comes. Oh. So far on my rattlesnakes in particular, yeah. In fact, I have never seen a rattlesnake out here. And I do know they're out here, but in the last 4 years I've been coming out here, I have not ran into a rattlesnake. But also we're starting to, well, it's still definitely warm enough that they would be out and about, but I do know they do migrate into dens, and maybe like I said, like 3 weeks ago, it got cold and wet and everything, so they might have all started going into their dens for the winter. And I'm never here in, you know, the middle of summer. Like I usually will stop here maybe 1 or 2 days in April when I'm, or not April, May, when I'm down here for Cocodona. But other than that, like from pretty much April through usually the end of October, I am not here just because it's so freaking hot. No, yeah, oh, I agree. I mean, we've ran into rattlesnakes up in Montana a lot, and she is the last one we ran into. Oh, did you step on something? Something pointy? Yeah, she's still learning that things are pointy in Arizona. Like, this is she will jam her head into a big pile of freaking prickly pear. Like, she doesn't even feel it. That's the way she is. Anyways, the last rattlesnake we ran into, I mean, it was the first one that she noticed. No, we're not going further down the trail, you fool. We're going back to the van. She's like, I wasn't done yet. We've gone over 4 miles. We're good. That's good enough. It's starting to get dark and I don't have my headlamp. But anyways, I think it was the first one like she ever noticed. Because usually I can hear it way before we get to it. Or somehow sense that it's there. And so I steer us clear. But she was ahead of me, and all of a sudden I see her stop, and she's looking at it, kind of wagging her tail, like, oh, a new friend. And I could hear it, and I'm like yelling at her. She had no sense of danger with it, but she could tell by my tone of voice that I wasn't playing, and so she finally did give up and came to me. But it's like just hilarious to me. And you know, it's just like javelina. I do know they're out here. I have no doubt that they are out here. I've never seen any in this area, but just 30 miles that way, a squadron of them came walking up on me in Prescott when I was doing some run cam stuff, waiting for the lead male to come through. We've seen them all over southeastern Arizona, like around Tucson or way over by Mount Graham Wilderness area. Like, we've seen them all over there. And every time she sees them, she's like, starts wagging her tail, like, oh, look at all these new friends. I'm like, Nari, freaking javelina will F you up. You need to stay clear, especially if it's like a mama with a bunch of baby piglets. Like, you need to stay away. She's always like, look, they want to play. No, they don't. They're trying to kill you. But she's getting smarter. I mean, she's learned that now with coyotes. When that one like came out of nowhere, she didn't even notice it. Like, I watched it following us for about a mile, and she didn't even notice it until it came flying out of nowhere, because I lost it. It like disappeared, and then because it was behind us, and all of a sudden it disappeared and came out from in front, like running straight to her. And she luckily saw it at the last minute and kind of jumped and I wouldn't say protected herself, but enough to evade, let's put it that way. And then she came running back to me. So she's learned that coyotes aren't necessarily friendly. And that one was like weird because it was just a single coyote. Like, I could get it if it was a freaking big pack of them. Like, when she was really young, we were in Nevada, off-trail adventure, and all of a sudden, like, we were out in the middle of nowhere, and I climbing this hill, and I heard them, a big pack of them, yipping and whatever, kind of downhill to the side of us. And I was like, okay, we gotta go this way instead. And then we got to the top, going the other direction, and there was another pack, started yipping and whatever. And I'm like, okay, we're going. I put her on the leash, and I was like, we're going down to this road, and we're heading back. and I could see the whole pack of them. They thought she was going to be an easy meal. And I put her on a leash so she'd be close to me, because I know they wouldn't try anything with me being right there. But okay, there's the van, and you guys can't even begin to see how dark it is. She's waiting in front of the van like, I'm ready, I need a drink. I'm the same way, sweet girl. I'm a little thirsty after that. Whew. I did not bring any water. How you doing? Yeah? Oh boy. Nothing like a good boop on the back of the leg to let a guy know that I'm not moving fast enough. Yeah. There you go. Straight to the water. Yeah. Well, you can blame yourself. You're the one that insisted we do the small loop. 4.32 miles with, what, 710 feet of vert? Not too bad. Yeah. Our run yesterday, we had like 1,500 feet of vert. Like, what the heck? What the heckies? Why won't you change cameras? Ah, there we go. There we go. I probably need to charge this, but I'm gonna wait until we're driving to do it. Yeah, because then my vehicle can charge it, because I don't have enough batteries. Still trying to recover from batteries, and I got a pretty decent charge today, but still it only got up to like 77%, and I had to do some computer work, so it was like, I think I've drained that back down to probably like 73 or 72. Ooh, I'm sweaty. Hi. Can I have your bell? Or actually, I'm going to leave it on you just in case, since it's getting dark. And I haven't heard the coyotes, but they're probably coming out. We just ran right through their territory because they're right over there. Because I hear them every morning and every night, like really late, or not late at night, but early evening, I guess. After it's dark, let's put it that way. Oh, okay, well. Nice, sweet girl. Then what we're going to do tomorrow is we are going to call and see if we can find a caliper compression tool so that I can do my rear brakes. And then we are going to go drive and do that. If we can find one, we're going to go drive and get it. And then we will come back and then we will change our brakes. So maybe I'll go live for that. And then we will do another evening run. I'm actually enjoying these evening runs versus having to wake up early in the morning, because the best time in the morning would be sunrise, and because it is so beautiful out. But then I just sit here and I'm watching the sunrise. I don't want to be running while I'm doing it, but it is so gorgeous. These sunrises the last couple days have been so gorgeous. But yeah, so that's gonna be it. I will see you guys sometime tomorrow, probably. And we're probably gonna stay here in this area until probably Sunday morning. So we'll see. I have to figure out my life. I have to contact a guy and find out. Enjoy your sausage something dinner. Yeah. Well, probably gonna have like, oh, what do we got here? I could have, no, that doesn't sound good. I could have buffalo chicken with it. Or, what else we got here? Spanish rice. Ooh, that actually might be good. Spanish rice. I don't know. I'm probably gonna do buffalo chicken actually. But, ooh, I got a Cajun chicken. I could do Cajun chicken. I don't know. Anyways, bye everyone. Love y'all. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye everyone.